Hi guys, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read, and I have 12 cards for all 12 signs afterward as well. So I'm going to get right into it. There's a lot of information. It is August 14th, 2019. The 14 is the Temperance card, all about patience and balance. It is a 5, the 14-5, which is also of expansion and change and competition. Confrontation comes up today as well. And the day adds up to 34-7, which is the 8 of Wands. So it is a 7, so it's more of the spiritual calm before the storm. But it is the 8 of Wands of that expressing your feelings, heated exchange. And I'm losing my voice here with the heated exchange. So a lot of us need to express our feelings. So it's the calm before the storm and the storm of the heated exchange. Okay? Or the energetic exchange. Whatever the exchange is, it's quick physical energy back and forth. So getting right into the read, I awoke at 9:30 this morning, which is the Hermit and the Four of Wands. So all about the home and going within. The read was done at 10:14 to 15. So again, the 14 came up of the Temperance card in the balance, and that is in the challenge position as well today. The major arcana were Ascension, which is the world, Alchemy, which is the Temperance card. That was the challenge. Karma, the near future position, and then Strength card is the last card before after the card reads. There were 4 Pentacles and 3 Wands. As I lose my voice again, all right, so Strength is a big issue today. The Strength card is upright today, but you know, that has everything to do with Leo and ego. So it's about balancing that energy. Courageous and strength, and how fierce you are. Okay, so that's going to come up during the read. But 4 Pentacles, 3 Wands, there were no swords and no cups in the masculine read today. The only court card was the Page of Wands in the main read of the Syrian Starseed deck. After the read, the Queen of Wands and the Page of Pentacles both came up, but they were both reversed. The Page of Wands was upright, all right? So 2 kids and a Queen of Wands, which often comes up as the karmic energy. So it can be the masculine's karmic, the partner, but any other karmic in their world as well. But it can be related to a feminine karmic as well, or feminine if they're in that fiery reversed energy. So as we get started, the code line was all about spirituality, karmic completion, which came up again yesterday, love, partnership. Okay, but when I dealt out the cards, some of the clarifying cards covered them, so it actually came out, instead of spirituality, it came out rituality, so rituals. And instead of karmic completion, it said karmic empletion. Okay, and for me, M has to do with the Mother Mary or Mary Magdalene energies. And then N for me is Jesus energy, so the half of the M of the Mary. So the empletion, I brought that up. Let's see here. So the empletion, rituality, and then also love, partnership came up. Instead of partnership, it came up as love, Teenership with the T. So I was getting Turnership, like Ike and Tina Turner. So I was getting that as one of the Divine Masculines relationship was like Ike and Tina Turner. But it also could be the RT-nership, which can be, RT can be a nurse. Or intern, I was just getting as well. Internship, a love internship, so like a practice run. So that's coming up as well, all right? But the code line had everything to do with the alchemy card, which was reversed today. So it has to do with impatience today and the karmic impatience. Also cars, very much coming up in the code line, but also personally. My daughter was dealing with car issues today, bargaining for cars, things like that. Also FIN came up. So instead of like a VIN, but the same type of thing, was coming up here. So, and FI came up yesterday and the day before for fidelity. So this can be having to do with fidelity in an identification number. So treating a female like a car, or ownership issues was coming up in the code line today. And let's see here. As well as the Chariot, the Empress, okay? So fidelity in relation to Jesus, who represents the masculines. The lover's not centered. Okay, when they're not centered, they need to go back to the 8, the dance of centering yourself again. toggling up for the masculine. You need to toggle up, because the masculine's very 3D, so they need to toggle up to the etheric realms more to balance and do the dance. The Chariot came up, and the Empress, also alky, so alcoholism is coming up here, and the Car, and the masculine staying in their high vibration for their destiny. Okay, for completion, having to do with completion with the karmic mother or the karmic partner, whatever it is, or it could be a sister as well. Again, the FIN, the female identification number, as in a vehicle identification number, ownership, fidelity, lovers, the Sophia 9, the collective consciousness of the feminines, and the inequity of that dance when there's ownership involved. The divine feminine within the masculine, the third energy, the Empress, Gaia, Mother Earth, okay? So lots of energies around the mother feminine, and the third energy around that, and the third energy of the masculine with the feminine within him, right? The stealing of the energy of the twins together. So that may not only be taken by the partner sexually, but just having to do with their work and their energy output, and abused by the mother energy. And that, again, can be the karmic. The Empress can be, any mother type figure, or an older person. It can be grandmother, an aunt, anyone in that position, okay? So the abuse of ownership. So the mother owning the masculine, or the aunt, or the grandmother, or the karmic. All ownership towards the masculine. But also this is coming up as those feminines, because they're more in their masculine than the masculine. Because the masculine being a more gentle soul when it comes to that energy. So these women expressing the masculine of ownership. So again, this comes up as plantation owners and slaves as well, and any other of that dynamic of the perpetrator and victim mentality, okay? So this is all coming up in the code line again today. For those of you who aren't familiar with my reads, this is a channeled read for the Divine Masculine Twin Flames, but it's very much a workshop to bring up wounds to clear, not only for us and our Divine Masculines, but for the collective as well. So if things come up that trigger you, it's not to be mean or bring up difficult topics, but to actually recognize the wounds that you have. So if you get triggered, it's because you have a wound within you that needs to come up to your consciousness to get released. So you need to go back into your childhood to find that entry point to when you first started reacting this way to that particular trigger. So that is the lesson here, okay? So there's a lot of stuff that will come up for you to clear in this read today. So don't take it as a negative. It's about recognizing what's in you that you're not aware of so that it can come up and be released. So having to do with everything we just talked about, spirituality, karmic completion, and love partnership for the Divine Masculine. And it's all about the Page of Wands today, the masked boy with the burning desire. And we have the 43 number, which is the Three of Cups coming together, but that is reversed, which has to do with gossip, overindulgences, antisocial behavior, not being social, wanting to get to just not have a social life, or being antisocial, so being out there but being very negative around socialites or social people. Also has to do with third-party situations or cheating. So all of that comes up in the code line today. So don't forget about the love Turnership, the Ike and Tina Turner. So, Ike helped her get her start, but then, he was abusive. He had codependency issues, but he actually helped her get started. So there was a lot of resentment there. So there may be that kind of issue playing out in some of the Divine Masculine relationships. And then again, ownership, right? So even though Tina Turner made fame on her own and then parted from him, he felt like he owned her and that she owed him. Okay? Just like a car, like you can't own a person. Again, the financial identification numbers. And then Finn came up also with the FIN of the fish, right? That Jesus or the masculines are only worth something to the karmics if he has his arms and legs. Because if he can't work, he's not worth anything to them, all right? So again, this is coming up with Ike and Tina, like he wanted her to make money for him. So we get right into the read here. that starts off with the Six of Pentacles, which is actually upright today. So that's sharing and balanced. Right here, we have the Five of Flames or Five of Wands. This is the Nine of Flames or Wands. So the Wounded Warrior there. Wounded Warrior is reversed today. This is the Transition or Death card, the Portal. And then the Six of Wands or the Six of Pentacles or the Six of Crystals in this deck is on top, but that's balanced. The Six of Pentacles, balanced distribution of a prisoner stuck in their emotions. Neither party gets what they want. Both lose money on the deal because of poor decisions made way prior to this moment. Shouldn't have bought such an expensive car when you had no money, that your eyes are bigger than your stomach. Taking on an expensive wife or partner you knew you could never afford. Nothing would ever be good enough. You would never be good enough because superficiality is not love. You did not love yourself. You thought you were trading up when in actuality, you went into a slave for hire situation. You bought into what she was selling, along with her family, what they could offer you. Living the rich life, or pretending to live the rich life, or showing up the Joneses, or elitism of the utmost intelligence, and being charitable and having the utmost of integrity, that you never do wrong, that you are perfect, which is an impossible image to live up to. Either way, it's always a lie, as we all know. Lies eventually come out and cause things to fall apart. Built on faulty, illegal, immoral, or illusory foundation is bound to tumble down when you least expect it. The overconfident who always get their way because they did growing up, or because they faked it until they made it, now with ego involved, they end up believing they are above the human law, or the universal law, even worse, and will ultimately fall in the rebalancing of it all. Confidence is authenticity. It's not about being pushy, right? It's not about force. Confidence is authenticity. Knowing who you are is the perfect way to be, whether or not others agree. Not arrogance, but being love, being present in each moment. And this was at 11:34. 11 is justice, and 34 is that Eight of Wands, that back and forth and expressing feelings, energetic exchange, as well as a heated exchange, and sometimes that's confrontation. So as we turn the page, when you're off balance, you need to recenter yourself. When making a mistake, you need to admit it instead of defending your ground. Do your best to make amends and pay off debts. There's no one to blame, only lessons to gain. There is an example I want to give you about my own life in this respect. I worked at University of Pennsylvania for 25 years, and I managed research there. And, you're always afraid of doing something wrong or getting in trouble in a hospital environment because lives are at stake. And even in research, it's very closely overseen because you're dealing with people who are volunteering to be patients. So in that business, just like in the medical industry, anytime there's a mistake or error made, you line through it, you sign and date, and then you write up how you're going to avoid that mistake in the future. And, people get yelled at all the time in the hospitals because people are in fear of someone getting hurt or someone getting in trouble. So I once met a president of a company that I worked with, which totally changed my perspective on everything, because no matter what, she was so calm. Here she was the big person. She was the president, the CEO. And yet when a mistake was made, she didn't look angry. She didn't get in a huff. She didn't reprimand people. She literally just walked past all that and said, okay, so what are we going to do now to change this going forward? And it totally changed my perspective on everything because, for me, growing up, I was totally getting screamed at and, hit or whatever the situation was to get their point across. So I never understood this perspective really until then, because even working in the hospital, you're getting yelled at all the time. Or you're in fear of getting yelled at because you're not doing things fast enough or good enough or not consistent enough, whatever it is. So just remembering that you don't need to go there. You don't need to react. The best way to react is to diffuse the situation by being balanced yourself. Okay? So again, report no one is to blame, only lessons to gain. So report the adverse event like I did at my work. all the details of how you will go forward to prevent that same pattern going forward. By loving yourself first, always being present with an open heart, no fear of the heart open to all, because you're always present to the moment, so you're ready to walk away and process if you get triggered or you don't resonate with someone. Why did I react? Where in my childhood did I get hurt? The entry point of the wound, to bring the subconscious to the consciousness. Why do you always blame yourself even if you did nothing wrong? So I still catch myself doing that now because, when I was young, I was always being told I was wrong or that I couldn't be myself. I remember literally saying that as a young girl, saying, why can't I just be myself, right? Because no one wants you to be yourself. They want you to be what they need, right? So do you assume the worst to protect yourself from loss? Why do you let others be smarter or wiser or cooler than you when you are perfect just as you are in every moment? The Five of Wands was upright here, so that's conflict, aggression, expansion. And then the Nine of Wands was reversed, so the wounded warrior, giving up or surrendering. And they can be two different messages depending on what other cards are around it. But the transition or death card was also reversed, which is not allowing the change. It's resisting, but it also can be feeling like you're near death, wanting to die or actually experiencing a near-death experience, but not fully transitioning, okay? So these cards with balance were coming up because the card on top is balanced with the Six of Pentacles, and I couldn't find the devil at that moment. I was like, why can't I find the devil? And that was 11:45 to 11:47 that I was looking for it. 45 is that Five of Cups, and the 47 is the Seven of Cups. The Five of Cups is reversed today, about getting over loss, regret, any sadness, right? To get over yourself. But it's also getting to that fourth leg of the race when you have that third baton, to let go and allow the fourth leg to happen, not clinging to the old, allowing the new. And then 47 is that Seven of Cups, which was reversed today also, about letting go, being more realistic when there's too many options, and maybe scaling down a bit to make things more manageable for yourself. And it doesn't mean giving up dreams. It means you may have lots of different ideas, but what are the really important ones to you that you can focus on to make it more streamlined and more simple for your life so that you have more freedom? And it's also about letting go of attachments, okay? So I couldn't find the devil. And then conflict, confrontation, giving up, unable to win, surrendering, not allowing. And remember, for the warrior, for the masculine energy in war, surrendering is, the evil. That's not what you're supposed to do. Not allowing the full transition because there's fear of blocking change to happen. It is clear. And then I found him, the devil, at 11:49. 11 is justice, and 49 is that Knight of Cups, getting your wish, being happy with yourself. So then I found the devil, who was reversed. So reversed can be detoxing, but you detox because things hit a peak, right? Or a culmination. So there could be total chaos before the detox. It could be someone who gets committed because of an event that was just so over the top that nobody could handle it, and that was the end of it. So the devil reversed, detoxing and recovery from possibly a one-night stand, or the divine masculine being a player or their player ways, any addictions, feeling like they fall short, recovering from anger issues and or exhaustion, too much physical output, workaholic, or keeping self busy in every moment to escape your thoughts, your stuck emotions that need to be released. Confrontational, the King of Pentacles reversed, and the defensive Queen of Pentacles reversed. So here's a couple where they're both reversed, the King and Queen of Pentacles. So they've come to some mastering in their lives. They're the King and Queen of Pentacles, except they're reversed. They're all about the superficial life. The one is aggressive and the other one is defensive. Okay, so perpetrator, victim, couple, and mentality, but having to do with greed and money. Also, this is the investigator, reactor template. Same thing, perpetrator and victim. So it's also investigator and actor. So the actor or reactor, and remember reactors, like anything that's poisonous, or, the meltdowns that we've experienced in the past, the reactors are dangerous. They're volatile, right? They could explode at any moment if you're reactive. So you can be active and reactive, but both can be volatile. Reactive is even more so. That's the dangerous one, volatile. The instigator or the investigator can be sneaky in order to get to the bottom of it, to catch the actor at their own game. Mysterious, alluring person, that is a red flag. Someone who's mysterious is because they are deceptive. They're not being their authentic self. They're not free to show their true selves, either out of fear or out of fear, really. They could have been, it just could be general fear about not being good enough, but it could also be from trauma, right? So a lot of traumatized people come off as mysterious, and so people are allured to them, but then they allure the untrustworthy people because they can't trust them. That's their deception. The silent type, the smooth talker, they attract each other through deception wound, afraid to be yourself on either side, saying nothing at all or saying everything but nothing, right? The salesman mentality, the small talk, the surface stuff, superficial, not deep. The King and Queen of Pentacles are all about money and superficiality, blaming each other for a big loss of money and or status, or for feeling unsafe, ungrounded. A negative balance. They deserve each other, some might say, but choosing to stay in a prison of their own making and no peace. The divine feminine inner child may be returning from the past. The beast or the ego tamed now, the divine masculine, the courage, the Leo, the lion, between the little girl and the adult divine masculine, no longer choosing a dark past, but reaping rewards and grounding and integrating completion, coming full circle, or the sealed divine feminine, a whole new world that is balanced. The Knight of Swords is out rushing in the truth, to give truth, arousing satisfaction of the Emperor, the wizard behind the curtain, who's not actually the Emperor. The wizard is being hidden by the Emperor, but trying to show you it's all a show. It's like you see the Emperor in the front, and you can see it right here. But behind the Emperor is the wizard, the human man behind the curtain, like doing a dance to try to get your attention, to say, that's not really what's real. That's not really me. This is me behind here. I'm finding happiness within myself. And the Emperor can be himself as a mask, or it can be someone else who's blocking his authentic self from coming out. So the wizard being hidden by the Emperor, but trying to show you it's all a show. The power, the control, the arrogance. The two-step, the tap dance, to block you from seeing the pirates, the Vikings, the battleships in the background. The Emperor may have lots of trophies, but blowing the whistle on himself. The curtains are about to open. The anticipation, that comes from Rocky Horror Picture Show, of what's to come, the start of the show. And then I was getting Acts 1, so you might want to check out Acts 1 and see what comes up in the Bible. But all appears well. The high vibration aroused while the audience sits tight in anticipation of the show. Lots of emotions, all organized and pretty. A rainbow array of dance numbers and one-liners to make boring daily life look more exciting for the man in control of his world. The marriage where he's actually happier alone than getting yelled at home. Stability of home and marriage shown, as well as negative attention, keeping things under the radar, yet looking like you put it all out there, the open door policy, butts being flashed, like a car, a test driving, the merchandise, testing it out before buying it to make sure it works, that it is real. The farmer in the dell, the two billy goats put out to pasture for a newer model, all right? So you see the parallel with all this car buying stuff. So referencing, not, when you have ownership, you're not going to, a man who's in that ownership template is not going to buy a new girl unless he tests it out first to make sure it's real, or it's as good as his last car, or to make sure it's better, or younger, or newer, all right? So farmer in the dell, two billy goats put out to pasture for a newer model. In another world, 5D, fishing and birds, Jesus and Thoth, a lady in waiting with keys to the codes. 4, XX1, and then 6 were coming up with the 2 ones below that, which can be the Gemini symbol. So 2 X's, so XX, which can be judgment, plus 1, which is the end of the world. For Emperor and lovers, Pisces and Gemini, keeping the twins apart. XX1 minus 1, 1 equals 19, his sunshine. and his sunshine is neither of these. The Pisces or Gemini there. The Dark Priestess with a cat and ankle bracelets and big feet. And then the Queen of Swords, the War Widow, or the spitting image of her father, or the seamstress with bells and candles, or a spellcaster who dabbles in voodoo and pincushions because they are scorned and damaged. They are vengeful. The Divine Masculine in the 5D looking for the right foot, but dark entities are around him, and that can reference to Cinderella and as well as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz with the ruby slipper and the glass slipper. The masculine's looking for the right foot in the 5D, but I was literally getting a picture, a remote view of the masculine here. There are dark entities around the Divine Masculine, remote viewing his every move, or pink rose or rose pink on the left side and berries on the right, helping the darks to keep tabs on him. A dark goat and a dark lamb literally parked on either side of him so he can't move. He can only work. Dark priestess or princess has skeletons in her closet. Cranberries or some kind of fruit in a ring around the rosies. So a ring around the rosy, pocket full of posies. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. She reads spells from a book with cross keys and cleavage. Rose pink hoodie with front open down to almost her belly button. Blowing bubbles, those plastic rings on a stick, collecting them or using them for some other purpose, out in the yard or woods. Maybe a camera in the ceiling right above where you work, Divine Masculines. It could be at the foot of something at work, wherever you deal with the foot, or the foot of a door or a bed or whatever it is. I'm getting that for somebody there's a camera in the ceiling, or they're literally remote viewing you with their psychic abilities to make sure they always know what you're doing. But you might want to look for bugs around your work, all right? And that came up in speakers earlier this week as well. There may be bugs in the speakers and the music system, or just in the tiles in the ceiling where you can't see them. Around spider webs was coming up at this read as well. And this is not to put you in fear. If you are already looking for this or already suspect it, this read is giving you clues to where you can actually find the information that you need. So adventures coming up for the masculine, which is 55, and the truth. And below that is completion. So we have two completions. We have karmic completion and another completion. So very much the coming full circle, end of the cycle. Not working, spider webs in the office, mice or rats due to water problems, or just someone ratted out now. This is at 1251 of the King of Swords and the Hanged Man. Letting go or losing money or losing your savings. Sleeping. Someone may be, then we turn the page, we get 1252. So we have the King and the Queen of Swords, which actually, by the way, are the only couple that were all upright, the King and the Queen of Swords. All the other queens were reversed. And I'll get to that in a minute. Oh, actually, let me tell you now before I go on, because I passed them already. So, of the signs, the ones that were upright and reversed, which means two Geminis or one Gemini expressing the positive and the negative. The ones that were both upright and reversed were Gemini, Aquarius, Capricorn, Scorpio, Leo, Libra, and Pisces. The ones that were just reversed were Cancer, Sagittarius, Virgo, Taurus, and the ones that were just upright were Aries, and that was it. Aries was the only one that was just upright. Let me just double check that again. Yes, that's correct. Okay, so the Emperor was upright. Empress was reversed today. The Two of Cups and the Lovers were both upright, so amazing there. And then the Four of Wands was upright, amazing there. The Six of Cups, however, was reversed, so the children in the garden were reversed, but that can very much have to do with the past returning or looking back at the past to memories for the wounds to come up. Four of Cups was also upright, so grounding and integrating, mastering things. Of the Aces, I'm only going to tell you the ones that were upright. Aces, Swords, and Pentacles were upright. Of the Kings, the King of Cups and King of Swords were upright. The only Queen, like I said, was the Queen of Swords upright. The Knights, the Knight of Cups and the Knight of Swords were upright. The Page of Wands and the Page of Cups were upright. Of the Tens, they were all upright except for the Ten of Pentacles. So the big family, the extended family, the money family was reversed. Of the Nines, the Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles were upright. So the Sovereign is upright, as well as the Nine of Cups. So that's actually, for me, the masculine and the feminine, because the masculine should be in his 9 of cups, the feminine should be in 9 of pentacles. So that's actually positive for the twins. Then the fives were, the upright ones were the 5 of swords, which is the enemy within, or just any kind of war, or actually just adamantly standing in your truth. And then the other one that was upright was the 5 of wands, which is the battle and the conflict. Okay, that can be also just sports and competition though as well. All right, so that's all of that. Okay, so like I said, the couple of the swords, the Queen and King of Swords, were the only ones that are upright, and now they're coming here as the end of one page and then the beginning of the next. So the Hangman and the Queen of Swords now, where it was the King of Swords on the prior page. The mask may be sleeping with a knife close at hand. The spy who loved me, right? I actually just watched a movie where it was during the war. You know, so double agents and just spies in general, like posing as being on your team, but they're not. They're spying. All right, so the spy who loved me came up here for the masculine. A thief in the night. And by day, the Knight of Pentacles, loyal servant of green and gold. That can be very much be the masculine. Healing others. Someone got robbed at night or is afraid of getting robbed with a knife by the bed or a sword, or a workplace got hit, or someone ghosted you and took all your stuff with them. Or there's a cover-up, stealing money from work and possibly home too, at night or while Divine Masculine you're at work. The Divine Masculine looking good and healing others, but literally everyone around him is a den of thieves. Or the Divine Masculine with a plan to dump and skedaddle out of there. The Emperor in the front, while the wizard, human being behind the curtain, is trying to get out from behind his own persona. Evidence left behind, 2 swords on the floor, with 3 swords in an upside-down pyramid on the wall. Maybe fingerprints that need to be found, all right? 2 swords on the floor, so it may be referencing that there's 2 fingerprints left from the thief on the floor, and it'll come up more specific in a minute. And then 3 swords in an upside-down pyramid on the wall. And the wall could be a brick wall or in a pool room. Maybe fingerprints or ideas or written words left behind in a pool room. And that could be, so a pool table, or it could be the actual pool, so in a room by the pool, or in a pool cue there may be something, or a foyer by the gate or by the 2 pillars where there's a multicolored tile flooring there, and I was getting floor ring, so there may be a ring in the floor as well. Where the pets hang out, also a brick wall, like I said. The Knight of Pentacles sharing with the world, the marriage of the Emperor and the Queen of Swords, an adventure. The truth, an adventure in truth. Working humbly to slowly go forward after settling out between the King of Pentacles reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed to complete the cycle and come full circle. Or the sealed Divine Feminine marching to the beat of her own drum, untouchable by the bull and lion trying to get into her energy, with Jesus and Thoth above her. The Divine Feminine's left butt connection to the Divine Masculine when taming his beast in the morning. The Divine Masculine lover without options, reaping rewards of love offered from the Divine Feminine, but that he ignored prior to this. Pacifying the Leo or ego in him, or when Leo pushes her butt up against him in the morning, if he's still together with someone, or when mother and child wake him up in the morning and give him a pat on the butt. And offer to share with the Divine Feminine, the Emperor and the Queen of Swords adventure, a marital situation, okay? So whether this is talking about the karmic marriage of the masculine or the Divine Feminine divine marriage, it could be either one, that is the marital situation. And mind you, this King and Queen of Pentacles could be the masculine and his karmic, but it doesn't have to be. It could actually be parents of one of them or siblings of one of them, okay? It doesn't have to be the masculine. The masculine and feminine could be the King and Queen of Swords, which are both upright in this read. So however it plays in your situation, you know, Pentacles are usually earth signs, so Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but it doesn't have to be. It could be someone who just is very well grounded, well established financially, and you know, just very well rounded and practical person, okay? Whereas the swords would be someone who's more intellectual and could be colder, not very emotional, or an air sign, you know, it's Libra, Aquarius, and Gemini are the air signs. And then we do get into the fire signs as well, which of course are Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius for the fire signs. So, and then cups Cups didn't come up as much today, okay? But as you know, all the cup signs are the water signs. So for those of you who don't know, the water signs are Pisces and Scorpio and Cancer. So before I go into recently, I'm going to show you around the cards real quickly. Okay, so we have the underlying energy is the Six of Pentacles there. The recent past is the Five of Pentacles, which was actually reversed today. The Eight of Wands there. Okay, so you see there's like a circle of flames in the middle of that card. So the Eight of Wands or the Eight of Flames. The center card is the Ascension or the World. The Challenge, the Alchemy card or the Temperance card. The other underlying energies, you see that Knight of Pentacles. He's up right there, but then he was reversed in the sidebar cards. Okay, that was the only time though. That sidebar card wasn't really in the read, so I would consider the Knight of Pentacles more upright in this read. And then in the near future, we have Karma, or that karmic card is like the Judgment card, which was reversed energy today. The masculine seeing himself as that Seven of Crystals or Seven of Pentacles, which is also for me the Divine Feminine's heart, the E Tower. Okay, and then we have the Romance Angel cards there, as you can see them. New Love on top, and then around the Divine Masculine, the Three of Pentacles or Three of Crystals. And then the blocks he needs to clear is that Ten of Wands, which was upright today. So the burdens are there, the hard work. Ending up here on that Strength card, which here is a tiger, and that really can be Leo, Sag, or Aries. And then we have the Queen of Wands right above it. She's reversed today. The Two of Pentacles upright, but this is very much surrender card in this deck. And then the Page of Pentacles up top there reversed. And then it ends up with a clarifier of the Ace of Pentacles. Okay. So I'm going to show you real quickly the other cards. This is the 12 read card. So the top ones are underlying energies from the Queen of Cups to the High Priestess. And then it starts with the Ace of Wands, Aries, across, and goes down to Pisces at the end there, at the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Okay. And then there's some extra cards I pulled too, and I'll get into that when I get into that read. So let me show you the rest of this read here. And also for the 12 signs, you know, the first column is fire signs, the second column earth, the third column is air, and the fourth column is water. And I'm going to clarify them too, so you get more information there for sure. So recently, in recovery of finances to rebalance after loss, and again, Pentacles are not just about money, it has to do with anything practical. There's no news or message, negative self-talk going on or spying of the King of Cups who's upright, and the sealed Divine Feminine, or to complete his world. Maybe he's waiting for a message that hasn't been received. The Divine Feminine, drained or sick, or without her sunshine, overexposed with a secret out, a secret passion, or not using her intuition, and chronically stressed. This can be the... Yeah, it's coming up as the King of Cups is next to the World card, which also can be the sealed Divine Feminine. So, you know, completing his world, coming full circle, or it can have to do with being in another world with the Divine Feminine, but there's no messages coming through. But looks like her energy being drained with the secret being out, or just 5D connection, a secret passion or not using intuition, or like I said, chronically stressed, possibly up nights or purging, or that this is a Leo or Pisces suffering in silence, expressing feelings or energies or a heated exchange of a physical nature in a divorce situation or spirituality or alternative lifestyles outside the box, a break in contract or a commitment, a tradition, or a break in religion. And that was at 124, so that's definitely relating to the karmic situation. 24 is the Queen of Wands. 1 is the Magician. Okay, so the foundation here is the Eight of Wands upright, an energy exchange or expressing feelings, but out of control, detoxing, the Devil reversed and the Knight of Wands reversed. There's a lot of negative energy down there in the foundation, right? So it could have been a player, a one-night stand, or somebody detoxing after getting played sexually or just in another physical way. The King of Wands reversed, using his sexual power to recover, or just tired and angry, depleted after being abandoned or kicked out of a group, or just tired of being the scapegoat. In exile and let back in, right? So in exile one moment, and then they keep going back and forth, letting them in. So when they want to do what they want, they exile him, and then they get their way. and then let them back in when it's convenient for them, just for sex, or to steal or deplete his energy, use him as a workhorse. So centrally, the energy is of ascension, the world, completion. Aware of the Queen of Wands reversed, and her pretending not to know in order to hold on to money and or stability, giving him up, or him giving up savings to be happy alone now, no longer caring about the money as much as his sanity or his health. To be happy alone, even if it is behind the curtain. The challenge being the alchemy card, which is reversed. So my alky comes up here. Impatience, losing temper, Sagittarius reversed, or an alcoholic. Always socializing, partying, gossiping, overindulging, third parties, antisocial behavior, or not walking away but processing through difficult emotions of failure, embarrassment, bad news, or no or negative attention due to arrogance or just not wanting attention, finding happiness alone with himself. Dumped, purging, or overwhelmed in a downturn of pain and betrayal, lower back and or sacral pain, the root chakra issues, right, is safety and security. The truth out about offer of love and running away or ghosting or scamming, a soulmate, a partner, a really strong connection, or just taking from a partnership for selfish reasons only. Love abandoned, dumped, or refused between the Empress reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, unable to be at peace, and dumping or dumping on the Queen of Swords upright, who is speaking her truth about purging, crying, and being overwhelmed spiritually with no communication, message, stalking or spying of the Queen of Wands reversed, pretending to be in her high vibration and being the whistleblower, so she may be pretending to have caught something to help others when it wasn't really her, or just pretending to be in high vibration when she's not really. But whistleblower of the King of Pentacles reversed, offering love to someone else. Or a high vibration whistleblower came between the Queen of Wands and the King of Pentacles reversed, both of them reversed, so that the Knight of Cups could be free to offer love. So somebody might be on the masculine side here, but it's not the Queen of Wands reversed. And the Empress and Queen of Wands reversed, they're both reversed, and they could definitely be a mother and daughter. So it could be his karmic and her mother, or it can be his sister and his mother, or his karmic and her mother, whatever situation works for you. You know, it could be an aunt as well, but it's definitely two people who are related. They're side by side, and one's older than the other, and they're both reversed. So now crowning is the Page of Wands, the masked boy with the burning desire, dumped, refused love, or feeling like a failure and crying like a little boy, feeling overwhelmed, as the King of Wands reversed with the truth out about family, legacy, or financial loss of the Knight of Pentacles. So there's a fantasy family that's been taken down in the war, and that was definitely in the movie again I watched last night, you know, where the man who was actually in charge of the country at one time is now in isolation because of the war and will never be allowed to be in that position again. But the fantasy family taken down in the war, one hurt, betrayed, left for dead, now standing in their truth at the family's expense. The Queen of Swords speaks to justice, to fairness, to sovereignty. Or the Queen of Swords Libra is sovereign, or a single person. Or the Queen of Swords upright and a Libra, or daddy's girl got everything in a divorce, and the King of Wands reversed, dumped, and lost money and or kids. So again, this could be the masculine, but it doesn't have to be. It could be somebody else. Or any family with illegal, immoral activities are now taken down. I don't watch the news or TV, so anything that's been going on may involve all of these things. And that came up with sex trafficking the past week or two, and then I guess that's in the news. I really don't know anything about it, but you know, it obviously comes across my screen now and then when I look things up on my iPad. So 154 is the Magician, and the 54 of the Page of Swords, who was reversed in this read today. But that's about, you know, the messages are news not getting out, okay, or spying, you know, or doing it in a sneaky or underhanded way. The Magician, you know, can be, it's reversed today too. That could be someone who's unscrupulous, who's insecure and manipulative, and does not feel bad about it at all. So there are victims looking back now in all of these situations of these big families taken down for illegal or immoral wrongdoing. But the victims now looking back, remembering memories of home and marriage. The Queen of Swords or the King of Swords received a childhood home, possibly, in an inheritance, or parents were losing their home, so the King of Swords bought it from them, or just expressing passions at home about childhood or their past with others. The Empress reversed and the Queen of Pentacles reversed, always stuck in their emotions and no peace. So, they could be out of control. They could also be two people who are ill and have legitimate issues, but also could just be, two really negative people who are always yelling at other people at home, and so the other people in the home never have any peace because of their own issues. The nightmares of the past, now grounding and integrating a divorce or 2 spoons of fruit instead of medicine, fruit medicine, to help digest the Queen of Swords, truth or a blog. Recovering through an olive or blueberry branch to make up for no messages. And the masculine now standing up for himself to the Queen of Wands reversed, offering justice to the Queen of Swords for torture and or purging that she endured. Soon for the masculine is karma, which is reversed here, the judgment card reversed. Soon is the karma for Leo, lion, ego, strength, and courage, taming the beast, or not able to tame the beast when dealing with frustrating Empress reversed, who's insecure and manipulative, or just an elder who's sick or has lost their mind. Could be a physical illness as well, but if it's not an old person who's sick or with Alzheimer's or that kind of thing, it's someone who's out of control in their ego and not a nice person to be around. So it could be a mother, grandmother, aunt, boss, whatever it is. The Empress reversed, insecure and frustrating to the masculine, and manipulative, unable to create. So maybe someone who's not able to create has used others to create for her in her life. Or this is just someone who's old or sick, like I said, or bedridden. No passion or no energy. And it could be like mother, like daughter, where they both have issues where, they always think there's something wrong with them. I'm just blanking out on the word. But anyway, no passion or no energy. This is for this person who may be sick with no passion or energy, or again, the Munchausen syndrome came up too, and that's the Munchausens for themselves is when they harm themselves or make themselves sick so they can get attention. So that can be an issue as well, but also the lesser energies of just someone who's always crying wolf, that kind of thing. But the Munchausen by proxy is when they hurt other people to get attention for themselves. So someone could be in that, or it could just be someone who is bedridden for a real reason, no passion or no energy, or the Leo karmic made a bad decision or no decision and got scammed by this couple of manipulators. Could even be family members. A family completion of a cycle, half maybe happy, reaping rewards, of deception in a downturn or bad fortune of others, betrayal. So this is where family, succeeds on the back of others in the family. Definitely betrayal coming up here. An opportunist or a child who never learns. They never learn their lessons. Impatient to be seen as popular or have a great idea. Be the one with the idea man, but not, right? They see it in other people, but they kind of want to, piggyback off of their ideas or their popularity or and then them being conceited, like, yeah, that was me, I did that. Or impatient to awaken and share with the 5D world, right? So they want to be associated with whatever is the latest and greatest and the most popular. That's the energy I'm getting. But someone wants to share with the 5D world, or just be able to rest or be in prayer, quiet time to get over a loss or regret, and get over oneself, right? So stop. It could be self-pity, feeling sorry for oneself. The impatient child who wants an opportunity or an invitation to get close to the awakened ones, to share, meditate, and let go of the third baton, to run the fourth leg of the marathon. So maybe someone is sincere in them wanting to change who they are. Or it could be another manipulation, but that's where you need to use your discernment. The Divine Masculine is the Seven of Crystals. That's how he sees himself, which is the card that represents the Divine Feminine's heart, the E-Tower, like Rapunzel in the Tower. And also for Eve, for the E-Tower. The Divine Feminine's heart, reaping rewards of healing and forgiving, to be free and open-hearted, free to leap without expectation, allowing his own depression or the depression of others, any loss of hope or dreams to come out, Or it could be an Aquarius reversed or Virgo reversed together, unhappy, and that could be that mother and daughter combination. Or depression and healing through meditation, rest, prayer, quiet time, and or the 5D connection. The masculine recognizing all of this, getting to know each other, chemistry, engagement, so moving your relationship up to the next level. Children, that children affect your love life, attraction, and then it tops off with new love. A new person has stirred your romantic feelings. Around the Divine Masculine, how he's seen, is the Three of Pentacles. And I couldn't find the Three of Pentacles. It may be out there, I just didn't see it, but I tried really hard to find it, and I still haven't found it. But the Three of Pentacles, the Death card came up again, or the Death number 13 of death or transition, transformation. Masculine dumping attachments at or to attachments to the workplace, to share and settle out, get over loss and regret, to hang out and be wise, to see new perspectives, to be inspired by a third party gossip or the overindulgences, or with no social life, finding the inspiration out of that. Masculine needing to clear blocks about their burdens, that the hard labor, the impatience with lovers and affection, clinging to work or near death in aligning with the work, right, that everybody else wants you to do. And it's 224 at this time, which is the High Priestess and the Karmic, the 24 of the Queen of Wands. So, trying too hard, working too hard to please everybody but himself, he needs to clear blocks of needing to be burdened or fill his time, every moment of his time, with serving others to feel worthy. Clinging to work or near death, could be a near-death experience as well, right? So if they've been overworking, they could end up in the hospital. But also near death in aligning a long streetcar named Desire, which can be women, but it also can be any desire, notches on his bedpost, or just projects of a workaholic under his belt. But at what cost? Now working through difficult emotions about a message of love and a need for opportunities to learn about epiphanies, or a kid who just never learns and continues to offer love until it neutralizes their opponent, right? So they may be learning from their children. The opportunist with drama, following wherever they go. So people could have children who are these opposites, one who loves all the time and the other one who's an opportunist. So learning from their children, okay, how they were when they were young or how they are now and not even realizing it. Or innocent love to be the innocent love coming to the masculine needing to be processed fully, grounded and integrated. Or the divine masculine worried that the divine feminine will create more burden for him, more drama, or kids that he can't escape, or just too much that will kill him. And with no opportunity for the actual puppy love that he really wanted, or to feel like a kid again. Worry and concern are all forms of fear. So instead, be inspired, be happy, be at peace, be love only. Spirituality, karmic completion, love partnership come up, but even more so, rebirth, so allow yourself to go through the change and be reborn, compassion for yourself and others, and then financial discipline, right? To be moderate in your finances, to be free, right? So you can be in a place, not so you have everything necessarily, unless that's really what you want, but there's always a burden associated with owning things, right? Because you have to have upkeep. So do you want to be free or do you want to be burdened? That's always up to you. The strength, the eye of the tiger, the eye on the prize, the thrill of the fight. Standing up for self, to aggressive Queen of Wands reversed, who is juggling. She is a performer. She is a drama queen. For the King of Pentacles reversed, who shows love by giving money. So what happens when there's no money left to give? And this could definitely reference a karmic in her father's relationship. Studying new perspectives to find happiness with self for the masculine, and standing up to his partner's family or his own. The Page of Wands finds his courage, looking right past the Queen of Wands reversed with her false light and no options, using crying to manipulate. But when it no longer works, even the Queen of Wands must surrender. A child in need of help must ask for help or learn to create a new life on her own for herself. The gold coin is always available, the Christ consciousness, to each and every person. The Leo, Sagittarius, or Aries, Queen of Wands reversed, gives up without option, an opportunist life, or looks for a new source of income. It's all up to her whether she wants to go to the negative or positive aspect of her personality. The Knight of Pentacles reversed, stubborn, resistant, refusing to work or move. Looks back or goes back to the past only to find more burden, more hard work, leading the call, or hearing the call to action now in order to decide. Final judgments, announcements, chaos, blocks. But they are all blocks. He keeps running into more blocks. Because force, resistance, obstacles, stubbornness, looking or going back to the past, car issues, others' judgments of you, instead of resisting, forcing, or feeling frustrated, release, allow, flow, and be inspired. Sharing or balancing more to resist change doesn't work. It just makes it worse on the long run. Expressing feelings to the Divine Feminine's heart about co-creation and recovering from completing a cycle, dealing with a world and dealing with another world. The challenge for the masculine being impatience, alcoholism, losing their temper, and balance with a karmic who has poor judgment and or is indecisive, or that can be him as well. But the burdens and hard work, labor of the masked boy with a burning desire to get the prize, right? The kid with the eye on the prize, always, they need to win. To capture the food and kill it. After it surrenders to my will, he never learns to make his food last. Or this is the Queen of Wands with this type of ego, where he's afraid of what she will do at any moment, all right? Because they're like, a bomb waiting to go off at any moment. So this Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius energy in their ego is coming up as always ready for the kill, right? So they, what does a lion or tiger do? They grab you by the neck to make you surrender, and then they go for the kill. So once they attack you and get you to surrender, then they go in for the kill to get what they want. So whether it's food, where a lion or tiger is going to eat you because they need food, it can also be just getting money from the masculine, right? Or the masculine doing that same thing to the Divine Feminine, getting the attention of other women. Like that's the challenge for him, is getting other women to always bend to his way, surrender to him so that he can go in for the kill, right? Or literally kill them by just denying them, okay? That could have been his MO, but he wasn't planning on meeting his twin flame, his Divine Feminine. So whatever he does to the Divine Feminine gets done to him basically by whether it's his current karmic or another karmic in his life. It's all balanced energy. The sharing and recovering, allowing someone back into work, expressing feelings, energetic exchange to complete a cycle and inspire the masked boy, but he's challenged by impatience, reaping rewards due to the Divine Feminine's heart, and possible his indecision, poor judgment about karmic Leo, Aries, Sagittarius with ego, the karmic Queen of Wands reversed, crying wolf, poor me, I have no options, I need help, I can't do it by myself. Or she could be the opposite, where she's the masculine in the relationship, the opportunist, how she gets her money. The workplace a burden with Leo, Sagittarius, ego, and the Aries, and the Queen of Wands reversed, always surrendering to the next opportunity for easy money. All right, so she may be really good at starting projects for the masculine, but he then has to finish them. So it's always on his plate, or getting money from her dad if he says no, but all of those energies, or even opening businesses for her, but then she still ends up dumping all that work back on the Divine Masculine. And then maybe just taking off for the next guy and having an affair. So that just depends on your relationship and your karmic. So the topic here for this read was the world, completion, ascension for the masculine. And the challenge being impatience of him and the people around him, alcohol, as well as temper tantrums. There also could be a Leo, Aries, or Sagittarius child that may be a burden as well, because they may have an actual, issue or illness, whether it's physical or mental, that is very challenging in their everyday world. But that child could also just be a grown-up who's being, in their ego, egotistical, conceited person. All right, so that's the read. I'm going to go into the 12 cards now so we can get that done for you. So I'm just going to turn this a little bit so you can see the 12 cards. And I'm just going to pick up all the mini deck cards so that I can clarify for you. And maybe we'll find, I still never found the 3 of Pentacles, so I'm kind of curious as to where it is, because that'll be another message for us. So let's see where it is. All right. Is 3 of Pentacles here somewhere? Oh, there it is. All right, so it was on the 3 of Pentacles. It is upright. Okay, so that's good. There could be some, this was in the masculine's environment with the 3 of Pentacles upright. I'm definitely dumping attachments to the workplace. or maybe getting the workplace, maybe clearing it out of stuff that doesn't need to be there anymore, or just cleaning it up, making it giving it a makeover, or healing it, whatever needs to be healed within the place if it needs repairs. So this is all going around the masculine at the workplace or the place of co-creation, whether it's a church or a school or a place, where you do artwork, whatever it is, wherever the masculine spends a lot of time. Okay. So, let's see, I get the rest of these. Okay, I'm going to have to turn this just for a second so I can reach on the other side of the table. And I'll get you back in a minute. So, the workplace was hidden. So, it's upright. So, the workplace in itself is good. But why was it hidden? Maybe someone's planning a surprise for a reopening of a new place, or totally revamped their business in order to reopen it, and wants to surprise someone or surprise the public. That could be coming up for the masculine. All right, I have all the cards. Yes, okay. So now we're going to clarify the 12 signs that we have over here. All right. So as I said before, I'm looking for my little wand. I always end up dropping it somewhere. That's all right. Oh, I found it. Okay. So we have the underlying energies up here. So this would be the bottom of the deck, the Queen of Cups. And these would be the three under that. And then here is the next card down. So it starts at that Four of Cups over here. So you can't see it, but it's right here, the Four of Cups, the bottom of the deck. Reversed, okay? Okay, so starting out, I'm going to shuffle the cards. So take a deep breath, everybody, please. So we have the Queen of Cups, who's very nurturing and loving, intuitive, kind person. Turning her back on the Emperor, or excuse me, the Magician reversed there, who's reversed. So that means it's someone very manipulative and insecure, or just feels like they don't have the tools to do what they need to do, or literally somebody stole their tools. Okay, that could definitely be for the Earth signs there. And the Earth doesn't have to be your sun sign. Mainly it's it's Sun, Moon, and Rising, but it could be Venus or Mars energy as well. So just depends on you. So the Queen of Cups is heading off the fire signs, turning her back on the earth signs who are being manipulative, or someone who manipulated the earth signs. And then the air signs have the Seven of Wands reversed, which is feeling defenseless to the energies coming in, or attacks from other people. Or it could just be learning to no longer care what anyone else thinks or does about, what you do. And then the water signs are headed by the High Priestess, so very much in their psychic abilities and their intuition, spending time alone in the quiet to meditate. Okay. But she can also come up as the divine feminine type of high priestess, but it can be any type of high priestess who practices any of those occult things. So often it comes up as the Viking princess, or I was getting Italian comes up from that card a lot as well, but Greek also. Anything with salt and pepper can come up from that. Okay. So, and today, because it has the J and the B on the card, that could be coming up as specific water signs. And I don't usually say those letters at all from that card. So that's coming up for me. They could be polarized people in your life, a J or a B. Okay. So let's see here. We're going to start with the fire signs. So we're going to start with Aries, which is has the Ace of Wands there. And boy, is that some powerful energy there, but they're both reversed, right? And that's very Aries, right? We have the Emperor and the Justice both reversed, both powerful and red, right? Oh, they're not expressing their feelings. They're pissed at each other. All right, so that's for Aries. It's very, it's upright. It's new passion, right? New creativity. But coming out of what? This is like the masculine. Like I said, there's like a lot of dark energy around them. This could be the masculine amidst these two other people who are really dark energies, but they are of the patriarchy and they're falling. It could be a family falling, but the masculine energy coming out of it is the Ace of Wands. That can be a feminist too, with these masculines around them. But those masculines aren't getting, they could be really ballsy too with that Ace of Wands. It could be the Emperor and the Justice card, you know, with a lot of masculine balls, chutzpah, you know. But it has to do with the Queen of Cups at the top too, like taking advantage, or just men in general who are knocked off balance because they're so aroused by the Queen of Cups there at the top. Okay, but they're not expressing their feelings. So they could represent masculines who are not in their authenticity because they're not expressing their feelings, their true passion for their divine feminine or the Queen of Cups. And this also could represent the dark energies around the masculine and him not wanting to, them not sharing their feelings, what they think about the divine feminine because of the masculine's interest. So they're not expressing their negative feelings, or it's the masculine telling them to shut up finally. I don't care what you think, okay? But either way, there's a lot of passion there, new creativity for a masculine or feminine who's an Aries. With the Queen of Cups up above it is really positive energy. Someone who's kind, loving, and intuitive with new passion, new creativity. So they might have a new Aries with a new passion. So let's see what else comes up with that, because there's a lot of, it's very conflicting energies as well. So let's see, with Taurus, take another deep breath. There's a lot of heavy energy around Aries, as you can see. I'm sorry, we're going to go down. We're going to go to fire signs first. So Leo is next with the Five of Swords. That can definitely be someone at war. Or, you know, in this card, he also kind of has a smirk on his face. So it can also be, it's not someone who's in their love, right? They're not there with open heart. But it could be just someone standing in their truth and not at war, allowing others to walk away if they don't like who they are. But they're missing the love part of it. Or it can literally be someone attacking, being at war, right? It can be, it's the invasion of Normandy for me. Absolutely that card, right? The never-ending war. So let's see why Leo has that Five of Swords. Leo, Leo, Leo. Five of Swords, Five of Swords. Why? It just really calmed down for me when I took that breath. So I was getting a lot of stress from Leo too. But it's because it could be the end of the war, you know? So there was a lot of stress, but now we're right at the end of the war. So there's Two of Pentacles. So this could be just juggling, doing the daily. Doesn't have to be negative, but it also can be. It can be performing a lie, right? Trying to block people from seeing what's going on behind them. It could be repeating patterns, or it could be developing new patterns, like staying in your high vibration. But here is the Tower reversed, so either avoidance or after the war, which is very much about that Leo card, right? So going back to the daily duties, creating new patterns after the war is over, right? Cleaning up the mess and creating something new, which also resonated with what I was telling you about the workplace being renovated, okay? So after the war or the destruction or any property that might have fallen or a family may have fallen, we're coming into our unconditional love with the King of Cups and starting new patterns. So that's very good for Leo, actually. All right? But remember, with the war, if there's a war within, there's always going to be another war without. So if you don't get out of that Four of Swords energy, you're not going to be able to sustain what you're trying to do now. So Sagittarius is the Three of Wands upright, which is about, it can be waiting for your ship to come in, but especially in this deck, there's no ships to come in. It's all desert out there. But for me, it's very much about being present in your moment, seeing the beauty that's right there next to you, and they're not looking for the outcome. So why does Sagittarius have the Three of Wands, which was actually reversed in the read? Take a deep breath, guys. Fire signs have a lot of energy. Sagittarius is learning patience. Three of Wands, Three of Wands, Three of Wands. And Sagittarius may pass out if they don't stop. All right, he's the wounded warrior. If he doesn't stop, he's going to kill himself. It's stop and be present. Stop. Be in your knowing. Okay? It's okay if you don't give up your life, but give up the past wounds. Be in your knowing. Don't worry about what you don't know. Just be in your knowing. Be present to what's right here. Don't worry about anything else. And if you are the wounded warrior, you need to take a rest. You know, it's the end of the war, according to Leo. It's time for you to stop standing guard, waiting for the ships to come in. and go home and rest. All right, it's done. All right, Aries. So Aries came up with this energy. So I'm going to put that with the Sagittarius. That's coming into Sagittarius. So Aries may be offering you another wand, and you already can't handle the wands that you have. So that could be those men up there on Aries, pushing Aries to offer you another job or project that you don't need or want, all right? It's only going to be the downfall of you. So this may not be a good thing for you, okay? You already have plenty of wands. You don't need somebody else adding to your burden. You need to be more on your own and present, just yourself. All right? This is the end of a family cycle. You need to end it, not allow them to try to push their way back in with more work for you to do. And that definitely is coming from Aries and these men, the Emperor reversed and there could be a judge and an Emperor who want to, you know, get you back into that limelight, you know, the end-all be-all person, the man, right? To get you up, get you running with your addictions about work and projects and, you know, being the one who saves everybody. So it's about you standing in your truth now and knowing that if you keep taking any more wands, you're going to die, okay? You're going to keel over or you end up in the hospital, okay? Physically, you can't take anymore. That's Sagittarius. Love yourself first, Sagittarius. All right, there's a lot of energy with the fire here. You can tell, like there's war. This is all wands, new passions, war, and being present, waiting for new ships to come in, right? But you can't handle anymore, Sag. And Aries is going to fall. They either fell already. This is like a patriarchy fall, or they're about to fall, but trying to get someone to get back in with them so that they can, you know, fix their any wrongdoing they've done, like to make them look good again, right? They're trying to delay travel or communications. They're blocking Aries from communicating to others. But I think they are trying to force this on Sagittarius. I don't think they're trying to block this from getting to Sagittarius. I think they're trying to force it and blocking other communications from getting to them so that they could, Aries and Sag can do this. Aries and Sag can be the same person. All right, so let's see. We're going to go the Ten of Cups came up again. All right, so this is the end. It's like not letting them back in. Once they're done, they're done. Not letting it turn back up. You know, like the situation that we were talking about in the read, where they keep letting someone, they exile them and then let them back in for their own use and toying with them. Okay, so it's like once they're done, they're done. Not letting people back in who you know don't change. Right, 3 strikes you're out. That's why that phrase, okay? So then we have earth signs. It's topped by the Magician reversed, all right? So it's either that the earth sign is that manipulative energy, there's someone around them who's trying to manipulate them because of their own insecurities or lack of worth. So Taurus, we have the King of Swords reversed here. King of Swords was upright in the read. This could be the same one now reversed, or it could be a totally separate King of Swords reversed. All right, it's coming up as Gemini, but also about lovers, affection. All right, check this out. So the King of Swords, Taurus, or someone who's in Taurus's energy, could be lovers or just someone you have a great affection for. Here's the Divine Masculine hearing the call, literally, or listening to announcements, or any judgment that's coming through. But they've got his full attention. This could be the Divine Feminine, who has the Divine Masculine's attention fully. All right, so the masculine or the feminine could have Taurus in their chart. But here is the Fool, you know, ready to fall. So the masculine learning to allow himself to fall, okay? That to forgive himself for any mistakes. See, because he's in his negative self-talk if he's reversed like that. But like it's the double negative of if you have the Magician reversed and the King of Swords reversed, that's like that double negative. It's like, so a negative plus a negative equals a negative. But a negative times a negative, or something that's exponential to the nth degree, like a Magician reverse, which is like the worst energy you can get, then creates a positive. So it's like creating a positive out of this awful situation for Taurus. Okay. It can be a masculine taking the fall on purpose for his lover, all right, taking the fall. Or just falling in love, allowing himself to, coming out of his negative self-talk. All right? But that could also represent, the King of Swords is on Taurus. So I'm getting that it's representing the masculine energy, whether it's feminine or masculine. And the King of Swords reverse is not good energy. Because if it's not just negative self-talk or being in your negative self, it's someone who's verbally abusive, okay? So you could be being verbally abusive to yourself. Or you could be that magician reversed who is abusive to other people. You could be very judgmental. It could be too, like, before feeling like he has abused the feminine, or maybe feels abused by the feminine in her truth that she's spoken, but either way, allowing the fall from grace, or allowing themselves to fall in love, or allowing themselves to fall apart in order to come back together. So that's very much around the Taurus energy. Now going to Virgo has the Ace of Pentacles reversed, which for me, take a deep breath, can be, can just be prior to a new start. It could be holding back funds to save before a new start. It could be somebody not wanting a new life yet and just hanging out and playing ball. Or it could be somebody deciding to play hardball with someone who's trying to block their new beginning, their new life, or trying to take their gold coin away from them, their Christ consciousness, right? Their birthright. So let's see what comes up for Virgo. I just calmed right down, and there's a lot of patience involved. All right, so we have the Queen of Wands and the High Priestess reversed here on this Ace of Pentacles reversed. And this wants to come up as well. So this has to do with the purging cycles for me. This can absolutely be suffering in silence chronically. So it's on and on and on because you never get to the 10. It doesn't end, like the war at Normandy, the war that never ends. This is what the divine feminines have gone through, right? The suffering in silence. All right, so then there's that war at Normandy coming up right behind it. The arrogance, right? The lack of satisfaction, right? Never satisfied, so they keep going to war for their own pleasure at others' expense. This is what I'm getting. All right, so arrogance, it's continuing the war just for your own pleasure, for your own arrogance, just to see the control that you have over another, like a plaything, a toy, something to play with. So it could have to do with blocking someone's new life, and it could be the Queen of Wands is upright, but it's coming up as someone who's not in their intuition. So it could be this Queen of Wands who's just in the read all about reverseness, toying with the Virgo energy. She's not in her intuition, and she doesn't like that. They could be that she sees the divine masculine or the divine feminine who could have Virgo energy, and it could even be her own Virgo energy, but she doesn't have intuition like somebody else. And so they learn to use manipulative energy, and that even could be, spell work or voodoo, all that kind of stuff, in order to control others just for their own pleasure. And this is not nice energy coming up here at all. And that's not for, it could be someone with Virgo in their chart, but I'm not getting that most Virgos are that energy. There could be some masculines who have Virgo, that energy, who are the magician up top, which is definitely, that can be Virgo energy. So that's more the masculine than the feminine, but obviously it's not all masculines, and it can be, just one aspect of the divine masculine who gets pleasure of hurting others because of his own pain that he's experienced in his life, or any kind of abuse that he had when he was young. All right, so it's just, hurt people hurt people. So that's what this is coming out. It can either be the Queen of Wands as the karmic doing this to toy with others, the masculine and or the feminine or other people. It also could be because the secret is out about what has happened. The secret about the Queen of Wands or divine masculine having played with like a toy, the divine feminine, for their own pleasure, okay? So knowing that they were suffering and doing nothing about it, or continuing to do more to cause their suffering, is coming out. And this is holding back a new life. So it's very interesting. Let's see what else comes up around that, and who else is attached to that. These are falling out too. I'm not going to keep them out, but this is about not getting sleep, rising above, and just being still, because you're unable to function. All right. This is someone not sleeping, not able to function, which is what all the feminines went through. It's possible now the divine masculines are going through the same thing. All right. This can be also just someone very stubborn, but I'm getting more that it's about rising above the inability to function or work. Okay. So the past for the twins, the past returning, feeling that energy again of dark night. Or looking back at the past. This can be looking back at the past or past lives, right, of this energy, but also the past returning, reminding you of that energy. Okay? Feeling defenseless to attacks and just the energies coming into the earth. All right? So that's coming up for Virgo. I had a lot of stress in the beginning, and then after I shuffled and the Virgo had achieved patience, it felt much better. So a lot for Virgo has to do with patience, because they have a lot of self-frustration. They live on their nervous system. So it's about, being good to yourself and having patience with yourself. Okay. And then we have Capricorn with the 10 of Swords reversed. This is the bliss. This is the end of the war. Like this is after that's over. The bliss of feeling the pain release out of your back, the betrayal, when you finally can take that deep breath, the sigh of relief after the war. Like you don't have to be on edge every second of your life thinking you're going to get killed. This is this feeling, that feeling of bliss. But it can be a false sense of security at the end of the war, because what happens at the end of the war. Then there's looting, parties, crazy people, and then people lost because they don't know where to go next. This is Capricorn. So Capricorn, done grounding and integrating, all right? They want to start over in love, or no longer settling in love, refusing, they want to change, no more. Like, I'm not going back this time. This time it's done for good. I'm not allowing that to overturn again. This is being present in each moment. I want to start over in love, and I want to be present. I'm no longer going to settle. I deserve love. And somebody's moving for a new life. There you go. This is Capricorn. So someone with Capricorn energy is going to turn Virgo's life right back up. That's beautiful. That's Capricorn. So whatever Capricorn did, and I'm losing my voice, I want to cry too. Divine Masculine with Capricorn, whatever they did to Divine Masculine in the past, they want to make amends and correct it. They know how evil they were, as that they're pointing to the magician up top. And they want to make amends. They want to change everything. All right? They're over themselves. They are now hanging out and being wise to see new perspectives. It is no longer what it once was. That he's a changed man is what I'm getting right now. All right? So the King of Wands is coming up upright here. All right? So that's coming up for Capricorn. I'm going to leave these out for Capricorn too, because that was a big message for someone. Then we're going to go to the air signs. That's a really good message, you guys. I was getting the Divine Masculine, like, so sorry and regretful, but now getting over themselves too, not wallowing in that, right? Not being the victim, but wanting to change and make amends. So air signs here is that Seven of Wands reversed. So feeling defenseless to the energies, right? Defenseless to the attacks, but then that teaches you no longer to care what other people think or do, right? So when you go through dark night, you get slammed into the ground. It's like that wave that takes you down into the sand. You can't get back up again. That's kind of like the reference for dark night, but for a lot longer than that moment that the wave slams you down. Now I'm getting the green room. So someone who surfs, the green room is the same as the vortex, right? Being inside the loop. But, you got to be careful, because as soon as you go into that loop, you could just be taken down and slammed into the dirt. So that's that feeling of when you get to that point, you no longer care about anything else in your world, because now you just care about surviving and trying to find air again to breathe. And it's making me cry again. And this isn't me, it's what's coming through. Right? All I need is the air that I breathe, right? Finding the air again. Someone who couldn't breathe, maybe because they were overworking or whatever, like so stressed all the time in their life because of what other people expected from them. Someone crying in relief of the swords releasing from their back. So it's going back to the Capricorn energy. So maybe someone Capricorn with air in their chart who's like can breathe now. And I still want to cry. And this is coming up for the air signs in general. I'm going to put it back, but the sun reversed, all right? So drained or sick or over-radiated or got burned by their own family. This is the betrayal that the Capricorn may have gone through. All right? But they didn't listen, so they got burned by their own family. Or got burned and lost everything, or lost their family legacy. Or the sun, their sunshine that they had is gone. They lost their children. Okay? But they still have someone who loves them. So they're saying they're grateful for that. All right? I'm putting these back in, but that was coming up for air. Okay? This is the love of a mother. But it doesn't mean necessarily the mother. It could be him referencing Mother Mary, the divine feminine, the spiritual love, right? This is innocent love. And this is, I'm getting Mother Mary and Jesus. And it's making me want to cry again. Because this has come up before, where somebody had some kind of trauma where when they were left alone, abandoned, and whatever happened to them, an accident, whatever kind of accident it was, where they may be on death's bed, that Mother Mary came to them, but not their family. That their family was never there for them. That it was too much of a bother. I'm getting there's a family illness as well, though. Loss of money because of a family illness or a child's illness. But having this love around them anyway. It's for the air. Let's see what else comes up specifically for the air signs. I'm putting them back in the deck. Take a deep breath. So for Gemini, we have death reversed. So death reversed can be resisting the change. It could be someone who's near death. It could be experiencing a near-death experience. Dark night of the soul. It's next to the King of Swords reversed. Him not being in his truth. All right, so coming up with Gemini is Two of Cups reversed and the Seven of Wands reversed. All right, so this definitely can be, someone might have lost someone. But they never got a chance to come clean with them. They literally may have lost someone to death, but never got to tell them something that they need to tell them. Two people who didn't see eye to eye, somebody who might have cheated or stolen or lied to them all the time, now regrets that. Feeling defenseless in the energies of the death are changing. They may have now been pulled into a near-death experience or dark night of the soul. Or just clinging to a partnership that does not work. They don't see eye to eye. Someone is coming clean in that relationship, but someone's still clinging. They're not allowing the other person to go. That's Gemini energy. And it could be someone who's dying, and someone's fighting for their life. Either the person's fighting for their life when the people around them want them to let go because they're really sick, or the other way around, where the person wants to go, but the family around them won't let them go. But there's definitely some kind of negative situation around here, because we have the Seven of Swords, right? There's definitely just bad blood between them, okay? But someone, it's either a literal death or a death of a relationship. It has to be, because there's just too much bad blood between them. even if they come clean. You know, it's maybe water under the bridge, but it's something someone can't forget, so they can maybe forgive them, but they can't be in their life anymore. This is coming up with it, so I have to bring it out. For Gemini, this is leading the way on the journey, getting attention, success. This is this is completely different from the energy that's there. This has to do with work and co-creation, coming together in a noble way with the King of Swords. So Gemini may be instrumental in picking up Taurus. Or this King of Swords could be the Gemini that's negative on Taurus and has to leave Taurus. All right, Taurus has to be left from his life in order for all of this to happen, for him to come into union with his feminine, actually. It might just be a workplace scenario where where the King of Swords has been working with a Taurus that he needs to get out of his life. But it could be a lover as well, since the Lover's card came up on Taurus. I'm going to actually leave them out for that, because there's definitely a connection between Gemini and Taurus there. But the King of Swords is good with Gemini, not with Taurus. All right, somebody's walking away. Okay. All right, and then we have Taurus on Libra. So Libra's next. The Hierophant's on Libra, which is Taurus energy. So we haven't had any majors so far, the ones I read. This is the first, the Death card. So that's Scorpio energy. So Scorpio is also attached to Gemini, which is this King of Wands reverse, which came up upright over here. So Libra's connected to Taurus. Let's see what comes up. I'm seeing not only the religion of this, right? So it could be a priest at the front with whoever the other servants of God are, in whatever religion it is, but I'm seeing them as yarmulkes as well. So it could be a rabbi and two sons. They're both considered male energy. So it's a very masculine dominated thing, whatever it is, whether it's religion or an establishment. It's all about the men in competition. Really heavy energy. All right, this is coming up here. All right, there's a family ending, a cycle, emotional cycle ending, or just a family who's completely unhappy, with no options, and the Queen of Cups reversed. And Queen of Cups upright is topping the fire signs. I'm getting that someone who's very religious had no option but to leave a relationship or a family. They didn't want to because it was against their religion, but someone's not giving them an option. All right, I have 3 of Cups afterwards. Let's see what's coming up behind that. All right, so these 3 cards are coming up afterwards. So it could be a group or friends coming together, but this is really negative energy, right? This is the verbal abuser, and then we have the devil, which could be any kind of abuse. So someone, Libra, having to come together with their own abuser. So it could be someone who's abusing them at work or currently in their family life. A lot of Cups are coming up, so this could be at home in their family. It doesn't have to be their partner. It could be someone who abused them when they were a child as well, or an older person in their life. It could be a religious leader who abused them when they were young, or someone who abused them when they were young is still in their everyday life now. But this is definitely verbal abuse. This could be sexual abuse. And all looks good. You see that? Because normally for abuse or overindulgences, that would be reversed. But this is the family making it all look good. All of this abuse. This is awful. There's a lot of abuse here. We have the Queen of Cups reversed, who's an emotional manipulator if it's in the negative, or just someone who's crying her butt off all the time with no option because the family is so unhappy. But somebody could be making it look like the group is trying to make it all look fine, but it's very abusive. It could be a cult or religion as well that's coming up with the Hierophant. It's really kind of gross, the feeling I'm getting. It could just be a cover-up. Like I said, there's going to be families that come down. This may be one of them. But I'm getting, as opposed to work stuff, this is more family related. So definitely more abuse by the family, whether it's the religious leader, the actual church or cult that they're related to has abused them terribly, or the whole family or group allowed them to be abused. So this could be the Queen of Cups reversed, who was abused. That could be a divine feminine. It could be a Libra person with Taurus in their energy who feels like either they directly caused the Queen of Wands to be reversed, right? Crying and purging like that without option because of the family, the group pressure on them. This is definitely, pressure from a group or a family or a peer group, friends, pressure to do dark things, dark sexual practices so that they have something on you so that then they can bribe you to do whatever they want. This is what I'm getting, whether it's the family or the church or the establishment that you're associated with. It doesn't have to do necessarily with someone with the divine feminine. It could be a masculine fessing up to any wrongdoing that he did to his divine feminine, but this is the even worse is the abuse that he's endured by his own family or his religion or a group that he's very tied to, whether it's the family or a work group or a social group, but I'm not really getting work here. This is the Libra healing, all right, and forgiving. Okay, let's see what else comes up. Wow, that was tough. And the Libra could be associated with the Capricorn as well. Okay, they could all be related. And then we have the Gemini and Taurus specifically related, but Taurus is also connected to Libra because Taurus is on Libra. But that doesn't have to be the same person, the King of Swords, but it could be. King of Swords can be any air sign because it's the King of Swords. And we have Capricorn here, so that's again connecting. Okay, so let's see what Aquarius has to do with all of this. Aquarius has the world upside down. That can be incompletion. It could be starting the cycle over because you've completed a cycle. It could be someone in another world. It can be another world. It can be the divine feminine whose world is upside down. Someone that the other people think is crazy because they live in another world. Let's see what Aquarius has. All right, Aquarius has this. This is isolation, feeling like a prisoner in isolation. Feeling like they're in another world. Or it could be a Virgo energy who has a hostage or a prisoner. The Aquarius could be shedding light on a new life for the Capricorn about, it was the Aquarius's fault about the prisoner or hostage situation. But this person could just be the Hermit. It could be the actual, there's Pisces energy here too. So Pisces, Virgo, Aquarius, all those energies are involved here. But this could just be Aquarius who's a hermit feeling like a prisoner themselves, or could have a hostage and be involved with a hostage situation. But they're shedding light on the gold coin, the new life for Capricorn. So the hostage can be any one of them. It can be the Aquarius, the Pisces, or the Virgo could actually be the hostage. Or the Aquarius feels like they had their hands tied and didn't do anything about the situation. But now their world is turned upside down since the Hermit or Virgo shed light for the Capricorn. It may have turned the Aquarius's world upside down, and now they feel like they're in a prison because they don't want to admit their mistakes, or got pulled into a situation that wasn't of their doing, or they felt pressured into it. All right, but I have here, this could be that the Aquarius is drained, or they actually are sick, or they have sick children, or they, they're kind of sick people. All right, it could be any of those things, or it could be a Leo involved with the Aquarius. It could be Aquarius Leo also here. They could be someone who had their world turned upside down. They could also have been burned with the sun upside down. They could be over-radiated. All right, so overkill as well. Someone may have been the reason why a child passed. I'm not getting this as right here. It could be Gemini, but I'm not getting that. I'm getting more the Gemini as an adult death, not a child death. But I'm getting here that a child might even be prisoner. Like this could be a Munchausen's for Aquarius, right? Someone is not the Seal Divine Feminine. Someone who wants to be a Seal Divine Feminine, so it could be a false twin, karmic. This could definitely be representative of Munchausen's, which is actually grossing me out a little bit. Take a deep breath. Or it could just be someone who's isolating and feeling sick, feeling drained. All right, this is coming up too. They're stuck in their emotions. They have no peace. That's Aquarius. So Aquarius connected to Pisces, Virgo, Leo, Capricorn as well, since they're shedding light and the Capricorn is actually on them. They're all connected. Let's see what with the water signs, what we get now. We have High Priestess at the top of the water signs, which is very much the water signs being in their intuition, going within, spending some time alone, being psychic, being secretive. All right, so let's see with Cancer. Why does Cancer have 4 of Pentacles? All right, we have the Wheel of Fortune and the Page of Wands reversed for Cancer. Also, the Knight of Cups is upright, and there's a lot of kids around Cancer, okay, which would make sense. You know, Cancer is very much about the home and family. And this can represent the node in Cancer as well, okay? So, very good fortune, divine timing, right? Someone could be a teacher, right? They're schooling the kids, right? The kids are out of control. And then the loving one in the middle who's a little older. This could be a teacher's assistant, okay? Someone getting a teacher's assistant job. Actually, I know someone like that. I don't know if they're Cancer though, but so very much about out of control kids here, trying to keep things stable for Cancer, trying to save money for kids, for their educations, for their care, if they have health issues or mental issues they need care for. But it's good fortune for Cancer. Feeling uninspired, or someone, a child with temper tantrums, or a grown child with temper tantrums. But I'm getting it's really more about children with that stability there. Because I'm not getting the Scrooge or greedy stability there. I'm just getting someone who's practical, may not have a lot of money, just trying to stay grounded with difficult children. One may have a big mouth on them, or just really mature and always flying off the handle with their mouth. Or they could be spying, or someone who stalks people or just says really negative things to people. Or it could be someone with ADHD or any kind of mental issue. That could be a child. But with the child with the Page of Wands with physical out of controlness, and then the Page of Swords with verbal out of controlness, you have to be an angel that Knight of Cups between them in order to put up with those 2 kids. It's not easy. But yet they're keeping it stable for them, which is a big deal. Okay, I'm getting the in a family fall. Okay, so somebody's family fell or lost money, or is a dysfunctional family, which that can represent. Okay, but again, this is coming up where it came up before. We're rising above and still offering love no matter what to a dysfunctional family, no matter what. This family is not giving back to this person, okay? But this person knows it doesn't matter. They just keep offering the innocent love. And it can just be a child in the family too who keeps helping and helping and helping and make me want to cry again. It's that Knight of Cups who is like is truly an angel, because this family has a lot of problems that they can't fix, and they're always there for them. All right, and that can be another child, so it could be 4 children in this situation, or that could be the same as the Knight of Cups, right? Offering love to kids who have problems, with kids with disabilities, so it could be someone who literally does that as a charity or for their job, or someone who tries to help out dysfunctional families. Or families who have lost, who've had disasters, like, they had a fire in their home or something like that. somebody who likes to help. And it could be kids just volunteering as well. So someone who's organizing something where kids can volunteer. So it could be big brothers, big sisters, or any kind of organization like that around Cancer energies, which is really nice right now, okay? Rising above. All right, so then we have, and helping others rise above, right? So doing something good for others. All right, so the King of Wands is in the Scorpio energy, but in their intuition, he's reversed. They could just be exhausted. Let's see what's going on with the King of Wands reversed. This is a long reading, you guys. Let's see. That's too much. It's too many cards, I think, yeah. But there's definitely some, it's definitely scorpionic energy. We have the Empress is upright. The Death card, that could be the Dark Knight. Literally Scorpio. There's Cancer energy here, but Cancer's reversed. That's stuck energy or in chaos, right? After the war, there's chaos, right? Because nobody knows what to do or where to go. They're all confused. And then we have their world turned upside down. So this is all having to do with PTSD. And this is carrying a very heavy burden. The weight of the world upon their shoulders. So for Scorpio, this is definitely a King of Wands who's just exhausted. All right, because they've given so much. It could be a feminine as well, an older feminine, or a mother. So this can represent the Cancer energy that's above him, wanting to help children of disasters. So, you know, PTSD, post-war, when there's so much trauma and chaos in the situation, right? And the burden of trying to reorganize and build things back up again and make them right for people. But I'm getting the Dark Knight, trying to make up for any wrongdoings by helping these children. Maybe have the help of a mother or a mother figure as well. Maybe something he wants to do with his Divine Feminine. All right, I can't even fit them all on here, but you get them. That's for Scorpio. But I'm not getting anything like negative or angry about the King of Wands there. I'm just getting a complete exhaustion after the war. So he could be that wounded warrior energy as well as Sagittarius. So Sagittarius could have Scorpio in them as well. Scorpio and Cancer are connected as well as Taurus. And Taurus is connected to Libra and Taurus. So they could all have each other's signs within themselves or be connected to these other people. Let's see what Pisces has with the Nine of Pentacles reversed. Maybe have lost money or spent money on something recently. Might have made a big purchase. But now being inner knowing, may have learned a lesson about a purchase. Right? Being a little secretive into herself, you know, trying to process things. This came out, it jumped out actually, all right? So Temperance reversed, learning about Pisces' own impatience, especially about purchasing things, or about being in their own power, knowing their own power, and not succumbing just because other people are older than you, or you think they know more than you, knowing your power, especially when it comes to a big purchase. All right, so it's definitely coming up. Perfect examples, dealing with, you know, my daughter's dealing with new car purchase, so learning those lessons about that when you don't know, when you're young. Impatience, not sleeping, but rising above, you know, worrying at night because you're impatient instead of just allowing. This is being stubborn and resisting advice that other people give you, or just an inability to go forward, right? This blocks you. When you get that impatient feeling and you're not getting enough sleep, you know, you can't function. And this is about Pisces learning not only about money issues, but just life in general, how to take care of yourself when you're on your own, especially for younger people with that card, right? So teens and 20s and even into your 30s and older can represent anyone. Being independent, you know, if you want to keep your independence, if you want to stay afloat, you can't just spend whatever money you feel like. And you need to be patient with yourself. You need to get enough rest and you need to feed yourself properly, right? And not get stressed all the time. So just for Pisces, it's very much about coming of age and learning to take care of yourself, even if you're in your 50s or 60s. Learning to take good care of yourself, okay? Not going back to the past. right? Not feeling sorry for yourself, not looking back at the negative stuff, but learning from the negative stuff that you experienced and going forward from it, right? Not sitting in the past, but just learning from our mistakes and then moving on. Okay, perfect. All right. And then if you get imbalanced again, it's just about centering yourself again. Don't do too much right away, right? Just because you've learned a lesson, if you've gone back, like, don't think you got it all, right? Don't get cocky. This is running back to the past. This could be the past coming back to you to fix things, right? If you had an imbalance, wanting to correct something, which is good. But just make sure you're balanced first, all right? So, because if you're in negative self-talk there, if you're feeling inundated with these energies, you have to first learn not to care about what other people think or say or do. But if you're feeling pulled down just by the energies coming into the earth, it's about being patient. Again, taking your time before making any moves. Don't be in your negative self when trying to do these things. You know, if someone takes you down to make you feel bad about yourself, it imbalances you. It's time to regroup and just have confidence in your own knowing what's best for you. Okay, so the bottom of the deck ends up here, which I would normally position them like this. All right, so the bottom of the deck is underlying energy for everybody here. With the King of Pentacles, after the war, the battle's over, no more fighting or conflict. He's getting back his stability. He's in his mastering of manifestation, fixing up a place, right? Letting go to repair and fix, make amends, right? Not allowing someone back in. They're done completely. No more pain, only bliss. And this is cutting through the BS in a split, all right? Lies, all that stuff is getting, this is the sword being pulled from the stone. No more going back. Going forward only. This is for the King of Pentacles. Really nice. So then these other cards down below that I had pulled out before were, and this is for everybody, the Wheel of Fortune was reversed, all right? So in the retrograde or any downturn, it's just to slow down and see things for what they are. It's time for repairs, time to go back and fix things that you might, that might need some more work or repairs or amends, whatever it is. It's just about the nature of forward and back movement, right? Because we have circular cycles within the energy. So we go forward with the Wheel of Fortune forward, but there needs to be time to reflect and make amends. This is why the energy, in a circle goes down, but then it comes back, right? Like this. It comes back down again. That's the retrogrades. To make sure you're good before you go back into another level again. So this is about dropping your burdens, confessing, time to do all these things in the retrogrades or in going back, backpedaling to get more momentum to go forward again. Getting through this, right? Feeling trapped in purging cycles. Suffering in silence. Okay? And then we have, after those three, suffering in silence because of love lost, so unrequited love or a breakup. In order to unfree yourself, you need time to recover, right? To feel your wounds and allow them to come up, right? Sometimes freeing yourself means ending an emotional cycle or leaving a family behind in order to become inspired. And then the last three cards that I pulled before are here, right? So again, there are definitely families that are falling from grace. Some may fall, and it may not because they're outwardly bad or you can't see anything they've done wrong, but it could just be, their contracts, their karma that's playing itself out, and you need to allow it. You need to allow them to go through their pain and heal. From being drained to feeling sick, or having kids that are sick, or people around them that are sick, or sunstroke, right? Sundowning, so mental issues. So all sorts of family issues can come up that can take others down and make them feel drained. But it's about you choosing a new path for yourself. You can't let other people's lives determine your life path. You have to do what's best for you no matter what. Okay? It's not about being mean to other people. It's about loving yourself first. You're not good to anyone else if you kill yourself. Trying to please everyone and never have any self-satisfaction. Okay? So, guys, it was a long one today. Sorry about that, but it needed to come up, obviously. Make sure you take care of yourself. Drink your water. Get your rest. Be in joy. And no matter what you do, rise and be love.